Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Thursday, the 20th of May. I know I say it every day, but this year is going by so fast. I can't believe it. Um, Today is Thursday, so for those of you who, work Monday to Friday and really appreciate your long weekends, you must be getting very excited because tomorrow after work, you get a long weekend, sort of that first long weekend of the summer. And with COVID and the shutdowns and lockdowns and everything, it really is a different kind of long weekend than maybe we have anticipated, a year and a half ago. But we're getting kind of used to now. So I really do encourage you to stay home. If you do go someplace, please stay away from people. Banff had the mayor out saying, please don't come for the long weekend. We don't want visitors. It is such a counterintuitive thing for a tourist place to say don't come. But we would rather all places would rather have people stay home and stay safe so that next year all of our tourist places can be packed and that people can be working and places of employment and tourist attractions can be filled to overflowing. This we want to get back to, but we can't until we get this virus under control. So I want to talk to you about, what does your long weekend look like? What does relaxation look like for you? If I was a gardener, maybe I'd be thinking, this is a great weekend to garden, although the temperatures are pretty cold here, so I don't know if I would want to be getting out and planting anything quite yet. But what do you do about your downtime? Everybody needs some time to just sort of decompress, to sort of slow down, even if you're retired and you aren't doing anything. We all get into our daily rhythm, the things that we do every week, the things that we take for granted. And I would argue that we still, even when we are retired or we are slowed down in pandemic times, we all still need a break from the routine, a little something to look forward to, a little something to negotiate away from the way we think every day, and to be able to just recuperate and refresh and appreciate the gifts that God has given us. One of the ways that I get to refresh and recuperate, and don't do it often enough, which is silly because I have a good car that's safe. I have a beautiful countryside within which to drive. You'd think with COVID and the pandemic that I'd have plenty of time, but I'm actually pretty busy, so I haven't. But I was supposed to take yesterday to Edgerton, the church there, some items for someone in the congregation to share with someone else. And I completely forgot. With everything else I needed to do, I completely forgot. But what that has given me is, it means I get to take an hour and a half out of my day today. Legitimately is probably less than an hour if I drove straight and back there and back, but I might make it a little longer, stop for a cup of tea and go for drives in the back roads, watch the greening of the trees. But I'm going to take a break in my day and the things I have to do to go over and drop those things off at the church so they can be picked up. And that's a gift. My mistake of yesterday and forgetting has turned into a gift for today, because my day, like most days, is packed full of things that need to get done. And every once in a while, you just need to stop, smell the roses, or watch the trees getting greener as I drive down country roads and find a new back way to Edgerton. Everybody, I think, needs to have something that they turn their hand to or turn their mind and their heart to when they're not busy doing everything else, or when they need to take a break from everything else that they're doing. And so what are your hobbies? What is your go-to thing that really empowers you or refills your tank? I love to read. I adore reading. I'm not a couch potato. I am a chair potato with a book. My favorite days off used to be Friday mornings. I would go to the Keshen Goodman Library in Halifax every Friday for almost 7 years when I could get that day off. And I would go and I would sit in a comfortable chair in the corner where I was surrounded by windows, and I would pick up a book and I would have my tea from Tim Hortons and I would hunker down in the quiet. Sometimes I even put in earplugs because the older folks who would gather to read the newspaper together tended to get a little fired up about politics on the front page. And then I'd sit there and I'd read my book and go into another world. And I felt so refreshed. It was like going on a little vacation. I could, enter the world of fantasy, or I could be on some island someplace, or I could be in a boardroom in a high-powered law office on Broadway. Whatever book I was reading, it took me to a new world, gave me new things to think about, new perspectives, new ideas. Sometimes it was just plain entertainment, but it was something I really enjoyed. My niece, Victoria, who is 15, I think. She might be 16 by now. I think she's 15. She's a painter. She's many, many things. She's a dancer and a gymnast and many things, but she paints. And years ago, she painted this for me, for my office. So as a priest, she knew I was a priest, and so she painted me the cross, and my last name is Parker, so the P. And I love this. I have had this on the wall of my office since she gave it to me when I was in Halifax. But she has graduated as a painter, and she's now doing abstract art. And so she painted this and gave it to me. And not too sure how it's supposed to go. For some reason, when I look at this is the upright way for me. But I guess that's the thing with abstract art. But she's done many of these, and she's incredible. She's an incredible painter. Her sister, Danielle, loves to sing, and she's got this most beautiful singing voice. And she loves to play with her dog, Zola. She has this beautiful little puppy that they got. And so she is entertained in COVID times by training her little puppy. Rob loves to do Lego, and he works on model ships, and sometimes he draws. I don't have he made a drawing of my name for me. I don't have it here in this office, it's downstairs. But that's how he de-stresses. It's how he relaxes. He does things with his hands that use his mind, and he really he's very creative. There are so many different ways that we can de-stress, that we can set aside the work of the day and just relax and be. Prayer is a wonderful gift that we can use. When we take time to pray, it can be a formal prayer like opening up a prayer book, or it could be the Lord's Prayer. It could simply be sitting in your rocking chair in your home, or on your front porch, or going for a drive down to the river, or going up to the Fabian to see the Trestle Bridge and just sitting on a picnic table and watching the world go by. When we take time to settle ourselves and invite God to be present to us and in our lives, that is a wonderful form of recreation as well. Recreation being recreation. We are filling ourselves up with the gift of the Holy Spirit and letting healing and joy and peace enter into our hearts, our souls, our minds, and bodies. It's an opportunity for us to break away from those things which are the normal everyday thing, the workaday things that we think about and we might even worry about every day. It is so very important that we give ourselves permission to just chill, to just relax. Sometimes, as my friend from a long time used to, I don't know where this phrase comes from, but she used to say, it would go like stink. If we were going really fast or working really hard, she'd say, you're going like stink. Well, sometimes we go like stink. And even in COVID, sometimes I think because of COVID, we actually do have to go like stink even more, whether it's trying to do your work at home as well as homeschooling, or simply trying to figure out how to do all those things you always did, and then also do more, because somehow working from home feels like we aren't doing enough. I've been doing that. I go like stink for a while. This past week I've been writing sermons and scripts for putting together our worship. Rob does a lot of work. He goes like stink after we film because he does the editing and gets it ready to be published to YouTube. But there's all that work ahead of time as well, and organizing things and getting everything ready, and then the filming, and it's exhausting. And by the time we're done, and then there's another project I've got on the go right now, and it's just, my head is spinning and there's so much work to do. And I look at my to-do board with all my Post-it notes, and it's like, And then I think, wait a minute, there's a long weekend coming. And my argument has always been, just because there's a long weekend as a priest doesn't mean that the work I would normally do on that Monday doesn't need to get done. If I take the day off, it just gets shoved on to Tuesday. I have to take my head and screw it back on straight. If I take a day of rest, it allows me the energy then to do that work that needs to get done the next day. If I don't take a day of rest, I'm going to fry myself. Just like all of us, we all need to take some Sabbath time, a little bit of time to just relax, rest, pray, read, paint, sing, do Lego, whatever, garden, whatever that might be. So this week on Monday, I am exhorting all of you to take the day off. I am not inviting you to go to Toronto if you're in Ontario, or Niagara Falls, or go to Banff, or Calgary, or Edmonton, or anything like that. I'm commanding you as your priest, like that does any good. I'm asking and suggesting to you as your priest to take some time to, if it's cold, to get a warm blanket and curl up with a good book or with a hobby or a puzzle or something that you like to do. Maybe go shopping this weekend and buy some foods that you've never made before. Look something and recipes up on the internet and make yourself a wild and crazy holiday meal. Do something that is completely not about your everyday. Do something that will give you the chance to just relax, to be present to the people in your life. Make some phone calls. Watch a movie. Do something frivolous, something that you feel guilty about if you did it normally, because we all need a break. Now, ideally, when this pandemic is over, we would all have all the money we needed in the world, that we could all just go on vacation. And that wouldn't work, because wherever we went on vacation, if everybody was on vacation, then all the people that we would need to take care of us in hotels and restaurants and tourist attractions and things like that, they'd all be on vacation too. So that plan doesn't work. But you know what I mean? We all need a break. But we can't get a full break right now, so we can take our day. Start making plans for your long weekend so that you too can feel rested and relaxed without feeling guilty. Have a great day, everybody. Plan hard. Let me know what your vacation, your staycation ideas might be for Monday. And I will see you tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael. God bless.